I'm here, man.
All right, all right. So I decided to call Dean on the cell phone while Alan was on talking about the sponsor there. Thank you, Al, for that sponsorship there. I appreciate it, and we thank Heating and Cooling Services for sponsoring us. But I've got Dean again on the line. Let me see if I can turn him up here and doing an old school cell phone to microphone. But Dean, thanks for calling. I don't know if you heard, but I was hoping that you would. I was wanting to give you a call earlier today and say, hey, can you come on the show because you've been to I think every single game this weekend. Somehow you were in like three places at once, at least according to your Facebook page and your Twitter account. But tell us what you want to talk about today. Do you want to talk about all these great games this weekend?
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. But first, I'm sitting here watching TV, and North Carolina has just took another dagger to the heart. That team is so jinxed this year. Notre Dame hit a shot with 1.8 seconds to beat them by 1 point. Yeah. or Williams does not have it this year. So North Carolina, man, it's good we got to win over Louisville. So I feel better than North Carolina fans now. But,
Yeah.
hey, and prayers to Ryan Newman. I don't know if y'all seen the end of that Daytona 500, but he took a terrible wreck, and only the grace of God will get him through that one. But, yeah, so that's all I got other than softball. But
Yeah, well, thank you for calling in. Like I said, we did talk about the Ryan Newman case, and if anybody had or the situation that's going on there developing right now, anybody over on social media know any updates right now, please let us know in the chat because thoughts and prayers go out to him. It was not a good looking wreck there. It was if any are, but it was definitely very dangerous, and we hope that he's okay. And Alan or Dean, like you said, I went to the basketball game. I went to the Louisville game. Were you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was in the club for the first half, and then I watched the second half from behind the goal down at the Clemson bench. So yeah, I was there, but that was my third game of the day at that time.
Well, so we started out talking about Clemson softball. We talked about, man, got a great picture, and Logan came on. I know you actually. I think you got a picture with her, or a hug, or something, or your grandson got a picture, or a hug with her. What do you think about her as the leader or the ace for this team?
Hey, let me tell you, and how I got to be friends with Logan. She was the first signee that we ever had. We didn't even have a coach. John Redmond was not even named yet, and she was going to Tennessee, and she backed out and called because she was a Clemson fan. Her mom and dad were Clemson fans, and she called D-Rad and said, look, I want to come to Clemson. So D-Rad gave her a scholarship even before we had a coach. So
Wow.
her mom called me, and she watched a basketball game on the front row with me, her mom and dad, mom and brother, and so I was like, man, this is the honor. I've got the first ever softball commit watching the basketball game with me, and so since then, she's thrown the first win for the Tigers. She's been the first commit. She's thrown the first no hitter, and she is awesome. But those first, you can throw 10 no hitters, and somebody can break your record. But when you throw the first of all those, you're always in the Clemson record book.
Yeah, very true, and she's a special player for sure, and she's a good ambassador for the Tigers, and we look forward to what she can do for the rest of the year, and how far this Clemson Tiger team can be. Like I said earlier, it's not a novelty team. This is a team that is not just out there to just kind of parade around. Hey, we're the first team. This team's out there to win some games, and they got some big bats too. I was talking about Valerie Cagle and. Marissa Gumbarda, I can say it right. But man, she used to play for Furman, and it came on the Clemson Tigers team, and is kind of the leader or the veteran on the team, and is just dominating at the plate with 5 home runs right now. Her and Valerie both have 5 home runs, and man, I would love. I hope to get an interview with Valerie eventually, and just ask her about pitching and being a great pitcher, but also being a great hitter as well. I'd love to have that talent like that.
Yeah, well, see, and I didn't really know. I knew that that Logan was a great pitcher, but I didn't know that Logan was not a hitter. I found that out yesterday when she struck out and jogged to first, and they threw the ball away, and she got on first, and I thought she hit a grand slam. To see her excitement for getting on first base, I don't know if it's the first time she's ever seen it there or not, but she is not. We'll not be using her as a pinch hitter very often. but no, man, Logan's awesome, and that's why I wanted to take that picture with my grandson with her, because she will end up being a legend for this first year girls softball. But let me tell you about that stadium. As we were going in yesterday, Coach Rittman seen me and Brady out there, and he had seen the bomb that I put up from Marissa the night before on Facebook. So, man, he opened the door and he called me in there, and I asked him, I said, man, I've got some questions. I want to know, people have asked me, how good is this team? We're winning. What is this that we're, the teams we're playing, how good are they? And he said, you know, right now we really don't know, but he said that Georgia game in 2 weeks, when Georgia comes here to play, if we play with Georgia, then we'll know how good a team we got. But that stadium, I asked him about the stadium. I was like, man, this thing, we are right on. For these people out there that are listening that haven't been to a game yet, us fans are right on top of this players. I mean, I can almost reach through the fence and touch the umpire and the catcher. So if he misses a call, I guarantee you I can see it better than him from there. Usually when they make a bad call, I'm calling up from left field somewhere. But this one I can see even with my old eyes. So, but he said that stadium, I asked him, I said, where does our stadium rank? And he said in the top 5 in the nation. So, I mean,
wow.
Man, Clemson did what they're doing every time now. The best. They're building the best. They're making Clemson the best. And Clemson softball, man, those girls that were there from other teams this past weekend, they were excited to be there and loved that warm weather that we had coats on for. So.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you that, you know, talking about Clemson softball here with Dean Cox, super fan, the Hat, if you know his alter ego there. But he talked about Georgia game. And I was looking at the schedule, Dean, that's just a little bit over a week away. You're looking at the 26th of February. Georgia comes down 5 p.m. It's going to be on the ACC network or maybe Fox Sports. I can't tell. It says ACC network at least right now, which would be great because I love to be able to watch these girls play. I hate it when I wish every game was on TV. I mean, especially nowadays with you got Twitter and you know what Alan and I do where we just stream everywhere. You would think you just throw a phone up there and let's go. But, you know, the 26th of February. So mark that down on your calendar. I'm guessing, you know, by looking at the stadium, like you said, I'm guessing it's pretty packed out and most of the seats are already gone. But luckily, you'll be able to watch it on TV.
Yeah, well, all the season tickets, we got 1,000 season ticket seats, and they were all sold out. But they sell like 500 standing room only, or what they call general admission. And I went out to general admission in the outfield, and that stadium is like if you go to your kids' Little League baseball game, and they're playing in 10 and 11-year-olds, they're playing on the same size field that we are with the girls' softball. So, I mean, man, you're just, even from the outfield, don't turn down and say, well, I'm not going to sit in general admission. No, you don't miss this team just because you don't have a seat. And when you I mean, I've seen a couple of tickets for sale so far, but the bad part for me is, you know, I'm all in with everything. And I love Monty Lee, and I love that baseball team, those players. But, man, we've just been 12:30 and 1 o'clock every game so far. And you know, I'm kind of hooked on this girls' softball. And so by the time I get to baseball, either I see 2 endings before I go to Louisville basketball or something. But hey, don't we play tomorrow? Don't we have a baseball game tomorrow?
Yeah,
tomorrow at 4.
They're going to play tomorrow. Like Alan said, they're going to play tomorrow at 4 against the Citadel, and so that's a little bit later for you. Hopefully, you
Yeah,
can.
well, we don't have anything else tomorrow. So tomorrow, I promise you, Monty Lee, if you're listening, and I just shared your show, so he may be listening. but if you are listening, Monty, I will be there tomorrow for a whole baseball game, my first one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But no, I don't want those boys. I had 2 or 3 of them ask me, said, "Boy, you sold us out for girls softball." And I didn't, but I can't help that Clemson or whoever makes the schedule. Man, that was crazy. Yesterday, we had baseball, softball, and women's basketball, which I unfortunately don't usually have time for. But they were all at 1:00. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, man, there's too much going on. You don't want to miss any of it. You want to see it all. But man, if you're out there, you find a way to do girls softball. Hey, I tell you what, I got 4 seats, and if you've seen on TV, sometimes I even have to invite the Tiger down to sit in one of them. When I have 2 seats, sometime y'all 2 come and sit with me. How about that?
Well, that sounds good. We'll just live stream it ourselves.
I hear you.
We could do a special on location show. I like that. Let's pencil it in and let's do that.